Good morning to all. Today we are going to deal with the lesson The Summer of a Beautiful White Horse by William Saroyan, the very first lesson in the book Snapshots. As I told you in the last session, Snapshots is a purely supplementary reader for you. You're going to get two types of questions from this particular book. One is the RTC questions, the other one is the long answer type questions. Okay, you're going to get only these two type of questions from this particular book. Okay, and as far as RTC questions are concerned, it might be asked from any corner of the text of any of the lessons. Okay, so that is why we are going to deal with the lesson line by line. I'll explain the story to you, and I also then and there I'll explain the theme, the concept and the idea that is conveyed through this text by the author. Okay, yes. So with that being said, I think it's wise to start the lesson. Okay, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse by William Saroyan. This story is about two poor Armenian boys who belong to a tribe whose hallmarks are trust and honesty. Okay, so this is going to be a very interesting lesson because this is actually about horse riding. Two young boys who are thoroughly interested in horse riding are going to have a ride of their lives. Meanwhile, they are going to learn some life lessons as well. So what are they? We are going to learn now. Okay. One day, back there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream, my cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning and woke me up tapping on the window of my room. So there are two boys in the story. Okay, one is around 9 years old and his name is Aram. Okay, the other one is older than him and his name is Murad. Okay, one is Aram, the other one is Murad. Aram, he said, I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. So one day what happens is he's listening to a tapping on his window. Who? Aram. He's sleeping inside. He's 9 years old. And he's just looking out of the window and he's seeing his cousin Murad. At what time in the morning? At 4 in the morning. Okay. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. I couldn't believe what I saw. So he's seeing something. Okay. It wasn't morning yet, but it was summer, and with daybreak not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. So in that part of the world, the dawn is breaking, okay, on that particular morning, and he's seeing his cousin just outside the window and he couldn't believe his eyes. Okay, so my cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. So he's sitting on a beautiful white horse. Who? His cousin, Aram's cousin Murad. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Yes, he said in Armenian, it's a horse. You are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to ride. Okay. So only through these lines we can understand the character of Murad. Okay, he is very commanding. Since he is an older boy, he is an elder one. He is commanding to his younger brother, who is a cousin. Okay, and he's saying, yes, you're not dreaming. It is a horse, it's a beautiful white horse. And if you want to have a ride, just jump in. That's what he's saying. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than even I could believe. Okay, so somehow Aram is not able to believe the fact that Murad is just standing there outside his window at 4 in the morning asking him for a ride. Okay, somehow he's not able to understand that, and he's saying Murad enjoys being alive more than anyone who could ever fall into the world by mistake. Okay, that's what he's saying, but this was more than even I could believe. Okay, because he's sitting on a beautiful white horse. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses and my first longings had been longing to ride. Okay, so you should never forget the fact we always have our desires and our dreams and our goals according to the place we live in. Okay, so this is Armenia is a mountainous place and known for horses. Okay, and Aram is confessing to the fact that the very early memories about his life has always been about horses and riding them. Okay, this was the wonderful part. In the second place, we were poor. So the first is the desire to ride the horse. The second one is they are very poor. Okay, so this was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw. We were poor. We had no money. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken. Every branch of Garaglanian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies, not even the old man of the family. Okay, so he's saying he is accepting to the fact that his tribe, his family named as Garaglanian family. Okay, third line, kindly underline that. This tribe is known for its honesty and trust. Okay, people generally trusted Garaglanian family because they're known for they are known and they were known for their honesty. Okay, so he says that we live in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. That's what he's saying. He just says like we don't know how we fill our bellies, we don't know how we take care of ourselves. Even the elderly people in the family don't know how the family is fed, but still we are able to feed ourselves, but that's about it. We are very poor, but I don't know how my cousin Murad managed to get this beautiful white horse, and now he's asking me to ride, and I'm more than overjoyed to have a ride on the horse. But what I couldn't believe is that we are poor and we are clearly not able to afford this beautiful white horse. Okay, I hope you're able to follow the story as I teach you. Okay, yes, most important of all, though, we are famous for our honesty. We had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries, even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we like to think was the world. Okay, we were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. So in this paragraph, we kind of get an insight into the principles of Garaglanian family. Okay, they are very proud. At the same time, they are known for their honesty and their trustworthiness. Okay. So he says that we would not take advantage of anybody. At the same time, stealing a horse is something that would never enter our minds at any point of time in our lives. That's what Aram is saying to us. Okay. Consequently, even though I could see the horse so magnificent, even though I could smell it so lovely, even though I could hear it breathing, so exciting, I couldn't believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Murad or with me or with any of the other members of our family. Asleep or awake, because I knew my cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, he must have stolen it. And I refused to believe he had stolen it. So when you have very inbuilt principles to live by, you simply cannot go against it, even under tiring situations. Okay, that's what Aram is confessing to here. Look, never forget the fact he's just 9 years old, and even though Murad is a little bit elder to him, even a 9-year-old boy, Aram, belonging to Garaglanian family of Armenia, couldn't accept the fact that his cousin would have stolen the horse. Okay, that says so much about the tribe of this country named as Armenia. Okay, no member of the Garaglanian family could be a thief. So he just simply states the fact nobody could be a thief from our family. Okay, I stared first at my cousin and then at the horse. There was a pious stillness and humor in each of them, which on the one hand delighted me and on the other frightened me. Okay, so he's looking at the horse and at the and his cousin. Okay, so he looks at the horse. He could listen to the horse breathing. At the same time, it is a magnificent animal, because do not forget the fact it is a horse. Horses are known for their beauty, and not only that, it is a white horse. Okay, so if you look at a beautiful white horse, and especially in a country like Armenia, and a 9-year-old boy who loves to ride horses is looking at the horse, and he couldn't help laughing at it, smiling at it, thinking about the thoughts of riding on it along with his cousin Murad. Okay, at the same time, it's frightening him because his family is known for honesty and trust, and the very thought that his cousin had stolen it frightens him to the core, because it is against the principles of his family. Okay, at the same time, there is a kind of humor that's there in the eyes of both his cousin and the horse. See, there is one thing that is always there when it comes to horse riding. Okay, horses should understand you to develop a kind of bond with the humans. Okay, I don't know whether you have read anything about the horses. Okay, I have read so many books on horses because I love horses generally, and it's my favorite animal. Okay, so I know quite a few things about, quite a few details about horses. And the skin of the horse should be smooth. At the same time, the texture should be rough as well. It determines the breed of the horse. Not only that, when you touch the forehead of the horse, if it engages with you, if it if it is quiet when you're touching the forehead of the horse, what it says is that the horse is taking a liking towards you. Not only you, both of you are liking each other. That is the sign that horse would be showing you when you touch its forehead. Okay, and the most important thing is the tail of the horse. Okay, so the entire thing shows the breed of the horse, and all these breeds, the higher breeds of the horse costs very much. It is very expensive. It is not an easy thing to purchase a horse or to buy a horse, okay, and to keep at home, because it involves a trainer. Not only that, it also should have a jockey, because horses are very active animals, and if you want your horses to be really healthy, you have to run the horse, you have to maintain it healthily, and every now and then you have to check the horse. You have to make the veterinarian come to your house. A veterinary doctor should come to your house, should check the entire parts of the horse, be it its legs or its skin or its ears or whatever. So for all this to happen, you should be really wealthy. Okay, you should be able to afford it. And here a beautiful white horse is standing in front of a person named Aram, who belongs to a very poor family, at the same time a family known for its values. Okay, so it's just standing right in front of his eyes with his cousin on it, and it's just, there's a kind of understanding between the cousin and the horse. It takes a lot, my dear children, to have a kind of understanding between the horse, because generally horses will not allow you to sit on it unless until there is a thorough trainer standing beside it. Okay, so here it's a kind of a mixed emotions Aram is having here, because he is, at one hand he is very happy to have the ride of his life, at the same time he feels very frightened. Okay, I hope you understand the lesson, and I hope you are all enjoying the lesson. Okay, yes. I stared at my cousin and then at the horse. There was a pious stillness. Look at the kind of lines, uttered by the boy. Pious stillness. That's so, because when the horse loves you, when this particular animal loves you, it would be very still when you, I don't know how many of you are aware of the horse riding, or how many of you have had this very close encounters with horses and their, stables, and, the kind of food that, a horse would have, or kind of a trainer, or with a jockey, or anybody for that matter. Okay, so there's when a horse loves you, when you love the animal, when the feeling is mutual, what happens is it would observe a kind of silence when you approach the animal. That is the horse breeding in itself. Trust me when I say that. It's a trade. It is a special trade. It needs lot of special training. Not only that, there is another profession called horse whispering. I'll tell about you as I go through the lesson. Okay? Yes. Morad said, where did you steal this horse? Now he is trying to have a kind of conversation with his cousin. He's asking his cousin, where did you steal this horse? Leap out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. So Morad is kind of a very commanding person. You can see it from the conversation that they are having. Okay. So leap out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. It was true. Then he had stolen the horse. Okay. There was no question about it. He had come to invite me to ride or not as I choose. So, since Morad is not answering Aram's question, Aram is coming to the conclusion that Morad has stolen the horse. So, okay, my cousin Morad has stolen the horse. Now it's my choice whether to ride the horse or not. Okay. Well, it seemed to be stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else such as money. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all. If you were crazy about horses the way my cousin Morad and I were, it wasn't stealing. It wouldn't become stealing until we offered to sell the horse, which of course I knew we would never do. So he says, he kinds of, like he's a small boy. We should never forget the fact that Aram is a very small boy. He's only 9 years old. He loves to ride the horse, and he is now aware of the fact that Morad has, stolen the horse. And even though this has happened, he is kind of consoling his conscience. Okay. What do you mean by conscience? That voice that comes out whenever you do something against the moral sense of right and wrong, that comes out of you saying that, okay, do this, now you don't do that. So the kind of warning that we get out of ourselves every now and then, that is called as the voice of conscience. And Morad is trying to appease that voice of conscience by saying, so if only you knew how much we love our horses, how much we love the act of riding horses, it wouldn't be the act of stealing, like stealing money, because stealing money is entirely different from stealing horse, because we have stolen the horse. That is, my cousin has stolen the horse only for riding, and stealing horse for riding is not same as stealing money. That's what he is saying. Okay.